Hello and a very warm welcome to yet another scintillating edition of the program CAC Weekly, a weekly program that keeps you abreast on the activities and the achievements of the Corporate Affairs Commission. My name is Amina Jabril. Coming up, House Committee on Commerce endorses CAC's embrace of technology. CAC unveils new service timelines. Expert takes us on a journey through CAC Post-Incorporation portal. We'll be right back after this break. Do stay with us. Welcome back. The House of Representatives Committee on Commerce have applauded the digitalization efforts and cost-saving measures adopted by the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC. Chairman of the Commerce Committee, Honorable Femi Fakeye, gave the commendation while leading members of the committee on an oversight visit to the CAC. Honorable Fakeye said despite being a monopoly, the CAC had no option than to allow technology drive its processes to enable it compete globally, and noted with satisfaction that the Registrar General and his team were moving in the right direction. Fakeye, while recalling an earlier engagement with the Commission last year shortly after Alhaji Garba Abubakar assumed leadership of the CAC, noted with delight that he had heeded to their advice by deploying measures that led to drastic reduction in inherited running cost, as well as enhanced transparency in the affairs of the Commission. He therefore used the forum to give kudos to the Registrar General for his untiring efforts towards improving the Commission and urged him to sustain the tempo. Speaking earlier, the Registrar General and CEO of the Commission, Alhaji Garba Abubakar, reiterated the Commission's determination to providing efficient services to customers despite the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic. Abubakar, who highlighted some reform initiatives of the Commission, said they were only made possible through the support of the National Assembly, particularly the passage of the CAMA 2020, which the CAC is currently implementing. And while revealing that the Commission had just revised its service timelines effective from Monday, 19th April 2021, the Registrar General said the Commission will soon unveil new products, the Limited Partnership LP and Limited Liability Partnership LLP, in addition to the adoption of XBRL or Extensible Business Reporting Language, a global framework of accounting standards used for exchanging business information in a bid to further improve the business environment in the country. Highlights of the visit was a guided tour of facilities which include the car park construction inherited by the Registrar General.
Happy to say that the CAC has come a long way from what it was 2-3 years ago. They have come up a bit, very encouragingly, in the sense that even the time between you wanting to register and you getting your papers become very short and very business-like. So I think they are doing very well.
Now from legislators' visit, we move to CAC's new move to improve service delivery. As the Corporate Affairs Commission unveils new service timelines since the advent of COVID-19 pandemic, the Registrar General and CEO of the CAC, Alhaji Garba Abubakar, has charged staff of the Commission to rededicate themselves to duty to ensure growth of the economy. The Registrar General, who gave the charge during an interactive session with staff preparatory to the kickoff of the new timelines of 4 hours for name search and 24 hours for registration, said the Commission had no option than to recall all staff in order to attend to deluge of applications. To achieve the target, the Registrar General said more staff of various disciplines were being on board and are trained to approve pending and new applications, adding that the new scheme had since taken off both in the head office and some state offices. Alhaji Garba Abubakar therefore enjoined existing and prospective approving officers to be diligent in the discharge of their responsibilities, just as he cautioned against dishing out indiscriminate queries, which he said could slow the process of registration and paint the Commission in a bad light. The Registrar General noted with delight what he called the supreme sacrifices made by some hard-working staff of the Commission and urged them to sustain the tempo. While speaking on staff welfare, the Registrar General recalled that in spite of the challenges of COVID-19, the Commission had trained over 300 staff and pledged that more staff will benefit this year, particularly those that were left out in 2020. On staff loans, the Registrar General revealed that the Commission's revolving loan scheme will take off soon and assured that a vehicle loan will buy a good vehicle, while on the housing loan, priority attention will be accorded those that did not benefit in the earlier scheme. Speaking on promotional examinations, Alhaji Garba Abubakar recalled that last year 2 examinations were conducted and therefore gave an assurance that before the end of next quarter, eligible candidates would write examinations for the available vacancies declared by the committee saddled with that responsibility. We now move to our regular interview segment where Ademola Chukwudiaina of Oasis Software Management Company x-rays the post-incorporation portal recently unveiled by the Commission. Sit back and enjoy watching.
Thank you for being part of the program again.
Thank you for having me.
Right. This Commission did close manual submission of registration on the 31st of March, in keeping to its promise that it will stop all manual submission of application registration by 31st, and it has done that already. What is the level of compliance as far as the online post-incorporation is concerned?
Well, right now we are receiving many applications on the post-incorporation portal because we find out that a lot of people actually have so many changes to make to their companies, especially for old companies. They are still trying to do some increase in shares. And even so for some most recent companies, they are lagging behind with their filing of annual returns. And some companies need to have their brand changed. In other words, change of name, some change of address, some needs to add more objects with the nature of their business. So a lot of post-incorporation process right now are ongoing online.
Okay, so let's start from the annual returns, which has become mandatory for every company that exists and that wants to do business. And that's an area people are not too excited or happy with because it has to do with you refunding, bringing some of your money in form of annual
reporting your financial details.
Yes, which a lot of people don't want to. When you talk about financial details, is what people some have apprehension. They want to hide it. Yes, but the Commission has said it is not just about the money, but it's about those behind the business, the business itself, and the record and how the business operates. But tell us, that particular area, the annual returns, how are people complying with that area?
Well, for annual return, it's a mandatory obligation of companies to go through it once in a year. So for some company, they file it at the middle of the year. Some company file at the end of the year. There is even some entity types, some company classification that they do biannual return filing as well. So the good thing is every company that would like to have their company status to be active with the Commission must make sure their annual return filings are up to date. So if your annual return filing is not up to date, your company status will be flagged inactive with the Commission. Now, in the case where you need to submit your company document for contract evaluation and that company is being, investigated with the Commission will tell them, hey, this company is inactive with us because their record of annual returns is lagging behind. So unfortunately, we discovered that there are some companies after registration in the past 5-10 years, they've never filed an annual return. And this is an obligation they ought to go through every year to report their financial status with the Commission. It's similar to like tax returns.
Yes.
You don't joke with your tax return when it comes to the IRS. So similarly, if you want your company to be in good standing, in case of request for letter of good standing, which some company request for, in some processes they have to go through, whether contract evaluation, banking stuff, documentation, they may request for letter of good standing, which is one of the post-incorporation process as well. Now, that letter of good standing... I'm sorry
to jump in here. The letter of good standing, is the Commission in any way going to make it mandatory as far as companies' operation is concerned?
Well, you said it's a letter of good standing, but that does not necessarily mean you are in good standing. so you are requesting for a letter of good standing.
That will make people to be on their toes.
Indeed.
As far as making their annual returns. Because if you go to bid for a contract and they ask you where is your
letter of good standing,
and you don't have any, should it be one of the requirements companies, government begin to ask for when bidding for contracts and businesses?
As a matter of fact, yes, indeed. It's a very good thing for companies or government agencies, MDAs, to request for that, because the letter of good standing will show the current status of the company with the commission. It will show their record of annual return. So if their record of annual return is not up to date, it will reflect in the letter. So it may be in letter A, it says letter of good standing, but the content will be this person is actually inactive, they've never filed an annual return, or they filed annual return 2 years, but for the past 5 years, there's no record of the annual return. So you realize or you discover that for any company that is requesting for letter of good standing, the first thing they ought to do is to make sure the annual return is up to date with the commission.
Now let's go to the issue of change of name. That's one of the online post incorporation. Is it an area people are finding difficult to handle?
Yes, because the change of name process is in 2 steps.
Okay.
The first step is the person has to go to the pre-incorporation portal and do a name reservation. Now, the reason why that is required is because if you want to change your name from ABC to XYZ, XYZ may already exist for another entity, another company, business name, or incorporated trustee. So it's no longer be available for you to change your name into that. So you have to go through the process of name reservation. Now, very cautiously, people have to pay attention to the option or the question that says reason for change or reason for reservation. In that drop down, it will tell you new incorporation, change of name. If you know your aim is to change an existing company to a new name, then you have to choose change of name. Because if you do not do that, which we encounter most recently with many customers, they choose new incorporation. And the availability was approved that yes, this name is available. Then they take their availability code and proceed to the post-incorporation portal to try and use it to do the change of name process, to complete the process. Unfortunately, post-incorporation portal will deny and say, no, this availability code is not valid. Reason, because the availability code carries a stamp that says it's for new incorporation, not for change of name. So at the point of reservation, people need to pay attention to choose change of name, not new incorporation. So by the time you get to the post-incorporation portal to complete your registration, everything will just be seamless for you to go through.
Okay, so it's something people need to study
pay attention to
before they begin to make that change.
Change, yes.
Okay, now let's go to the proprietor, the change of proprietor or partner. I'm already a proprietor. Why do I want to change again? If it's my business.
It's a business,
yes,
right?
Why do I want to change again?
Indeed. The intention there is because we now have
is the portal forcing us to change?
No. The portal is not forcing you to change. You don't have to change. And you remember that every post-incorporation process is optional. Okay. It's not, you are not enforced to do any of them.
Okay.
Although the law states that you have to do certain process like annual return, increase in share capital. That is what the law states. Okay. But on the portal, it's for the user to decide which one do I really want to go through right now. So now, for changing proprietor or partners, what that is all about is because business name now has 2 types. We have partnership and we have sole proprietor. So there are some business existing entities that they feel like, okay, it was initially one-man business, now I have a partner. I want to change to a partnership. So there is no process that says change from sole proprietor to partnership. All you need to do is go and do a change in proprietor/partners. Okay. When you do that, you have opportunity to now add new partners to that business. As soon as you have more than one person that is tied to that business, the system automatically updates the entity type saying this is now a partnership business name. It's no longer a sole proprietor because now they have 2 personnel as partners. So that's where the automatic process takes place and say, okay, yeah, this person is no longer a sole proprietor, it's now partnership. So you may be a sole proprietor, but you want to change to partnership.
Okay.
So that is where you get the opportunity to do that by going to file for change in partnership.
Okay.
Then you will do that process.
All right. We also understand that this is also the change of the object of the business name.
Yes.
That's a bit technical.
Yeah, you know, when you come to the commission and say you want to register your business, one of the questions you get to ask is, what is the nature of the business?
Okay.
what is the nature of your business. Then you tell us, oh, I want to be doing export, import, general contract.
Well, I want to do mama put.
You want to do mama put, all kinds of things. So you realize that somebody may register a business name and they will list out about 10 different things they do as the nature of business.
When you're supposed to choose only one.
I mean, they can choose, no, not that you're allowed to choose multiple.
Okay.
By the system allows you to choose multiple. Even the law allows you to choose multiple.
Okay.
The only concern is some old business name have only 2, 3. Now, as a matter of growth, as a result of growth of that business, they are now venturing into other aspects, other things that was not stated originally during their incorporation. So now they come in and say, we want to do change in nature of business. That means change of object of the business. Then they come in, they file that, they add all those new things they are trying to do. So somebody may start out as a barbing salon. And as the time goes on, they decide, okay, we want to be selling recharge card. With time goes on, they decide, okay, fine, we're going to have a little restaurant beside the barbing salon. Because people come to barb, they tend to like to eat snacks. And
yes.
So they go ahead and add snacks, food stuff, they diversify. So you realize that the business has grown. The initial object was a salon. Now they want to add up and say, okay, we are now cooking, we are now selling recharge card. They come in and change their object and the nature of business.
Okay. Now let's go to the change of address. A big issue in Nigeria because people change their addresses on a regular basis, especially those who don't have a permanent structure where they operate their businesses. And sometimes they don't even update. So they continue to use the old address on their letterhead and all their documents. So what happens under this particular arrangement?
Well, technically, if you're using an address where you're not doing a business or your company is not located, that's a false document.
Oh, okay.
Right. So
it's a crime.
Well,
a lot of people are guilty of it.
They're guilty of it, you know. It's like you're misleading people saying I'm doing my business as number 12 Legon Street, and you're actually doing your business at number 10 Bengala Avenue. So that's something that you definitely need to come to the commission and file a change of address for. So change of address cuts across all classifications or entity types, company, incorporated trustee, business name, limited partnership, and limited liability partnership. They all have change of address option. So they can all change their address at any time. And the good thing about a business name is they have what we call a branch address. So your headquarters, maybe your permanent address, but you have different branches. And these branches have different addresses as well. So you can come in to say, I want to change address, then you change a particular branch address, or you change some branch address, or you add more to it. So basically, the importance of that is to make sure that your record is up to date and you are giving the right address to potential clients or whoever is giving you contracts. So they can know that, yes, indeed, this is where you're located, and that's indeed where you're located, not somewhere else.
Okay. With all of these changes, are you paying? Is the commission charging you a fee?
Oh, yes.
For you to effect any of this?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So
it's not free? It's not free?
None of them is free, unfortunately.
So after you're being required to pay annual returns,
yes,
you're still paying for
every change you make.
So how much?
It depends.
Okay.
Each
change of name attracts how much?
Change of name, you have to first go through a reservation, which could be 500 naira or 5,000 naira.
Oh, okay.
Now, for incorporated trustees that are doing reservation, even for change of name, they still pay the reservation code process, which goes to the RG's desk, which is 5,000 naira for reservation.
Okay.
Now, if it's just an ordinary name that does not have anything to do with incorporated trustee, maybe a business name or a company, and not limited liability company, and not limited by guarantee, limited by guarantee, then you're still paying 500 naira.
Okay.
But you're limited by guarantee, incorporated trustee, or if the new name you intend to change to carries a restricted word, then you are paying 5,000 naira. 5,000
naira?
Yes.
Okay. What about increase in share capital?
That's not the end of your payment for change of name.
Okay.
That's just the reservation of the name. Then you now go to the actual change of name as a post-incorporation process. Then you pay for that. That attracts an additional about, is it 5,000 or 10,000, depending on the entity type.
Okay. So for every of those steps that you take, it has its own
price. Yes.
It has its own price.
Yes. They vary. Many post-incorporation process vary, but one thing that is constant, any post-incorporation process where the output is a status report is 5,000 naira.
Wouldn't that discourage a lot of people?
Well, it all depends on what's your target, what's your goal as a company. You know, if you know you're really in business and you don't want to falsify documents or have to misrepresent yourself to your clients, then you have to do the needful.
Okay. Now, let's go to the average Nigerian businessman
Yes.
on the street today. Has the reform being carried out by the Commission in any way help alleviate the suffering of the average Nigerian businessman?
The answer
Has it
to
made
that
life
easier.
much easier for him or her?
Yes, actually, it has made life a lot easier for them. Now you can file any of your changes online. You get your approval within 2-3 days, and it's done. Unlike the cumbersome manual process, which you have to write letters, documents from one office to another, from one place to another. You know, all of that has been made easy. The stress of going through all that pain, now you can just do everything online by filling the form, submitting uploading 1 or 2 documents, and you're done. So the ease of doing business with the Commission is one of the major things that is implemented in this new system. To make sure that the average Nigerians have access to the Commission. Average Nigerians should have the ability to file changes to their company. And the good news also for the lawyers.
There's always a good news.
There's always a good news for the lawyers. You know, there are some complaints where they feel like they're taking away their job. Now everything is online. Clients may not come to them and all of that. But post-incorporation process, there are 2 classes of people that have access. Accredited
So
agents.
that's a new window for them.
Yes.
A new window of opportunity.
Kind of.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the 2 classes of people. then,
One is an accredited agent that is registered with the Commission. The second one is an officer of the company that would get a permission from the Commission, and the Commission will grant such person the login access for their own company. So these 2 people. Now, there are some persons that will feel it's stressful for me to, try to write to the Commission, get in touch with the Commission for me to get access. Let me just go to the accredited agents. Hey, new business for accredited agents, right? And there are some persons that, for lack of time, they will still contract these things
Not
out.
only time, the technicalities involved.
Speaking of which is very important.
Yeah.
We do encourage users to take their time to read.
Okay.
We give a lot of instructions on the portal for people to find it easy to navigate through the system. But the problem of an African man
Doesn't want to read.
doesn't want to read. Even when the clear instruction says,
wants
hey,
tap,
click here to do this.
He's clicking
They'll be
somewhere
looking for, where is the button I want to click somewhere else? And it's right here, right on your face. So things like that, they just need to take a little time, relax, read the instruction, and you find out that many things that you're actually contracting out to an accredited agent, you can do it yourself. And one of the reasons why we also limit access like that is for security reasons. You don't want a situation where someone can go file a post-incorporation process for another company without having the right access or privilege to do such process. So an accredited agent is someone that has been documented, or an officer of the company itself is someone that is documented, right? So the person can come and say, okay, I'm an officer of the company, I'd like to do a post-incorporation process, I need my access, and we'll give you admin access. Then you can log in as an admin to your company and do your post-incorporation process.
Okay. If there's one challenge that the Commission has faced from 4th of January when it first opened the portal to the 31st of March when it closed, what will that challenge be?
Well, the challenge is usability.
Okay.
Usability. That's why we, every day, even up to this day, we still write changes, we still update the software with instructions. Every day we realize, okay, there are no challenges in this aspect of the software. We modify the software to give instruction in that aspect. So that when people get there, they find the new instructions, they find instructions on how to navigate through the system. So every single day we are working to see what are the challenges users are facing, and we are resolving it to help them to use the system effectively, efficiently. So we know that people that are doing annual return, they have challenges in most recent. People that are doing increase in share capital, they have challenges because they do not understand that, okay, there is an old and there is a new value that needs to be entered. So all of this now, we update the system every day. And the system as of today is still undergoing updates. Because of that, we are studying the user's experience to make improvements to the system so that everything will be seamless, efficient, and effective to the average Nigerians.
All right. Mr. Ademola Chukudi, I know, senior software developer, Oasis Management Company. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much for having me.
And that's why we bring to a close this week's edition of the program CAC Weekly. We do hope you enjoyed watching. For comments and inquiries, please take advantage of our social media handles and our helplines. On Twitter, it is at CAC Nigeria 1. On Instagram and Facebook, it is Corporate Affairs Commission. Our email is cservice@cac.gov.ng. You can also visit our website on www.cac.gov.ng. And our helplines are 081-822-99016 or 081-822-98971, 090-874-01598 or 090-874-01599 and 090-874-01600. Do join us next week for another interesting edition of the program. Same time, same station. From me, Amina Jibril, and the whole team here, it is bye for now.